Jeff Salzman here, and welcome to the Bite Size Evolver, excerpts from my podcasts. And this was recommended by a listener, and it's a critique of the Ford Motor Company's ad introducing their new truck of the future, their new all-electric Ford F-Series Lightning truck that they're going to start selling next spring. And they've been running this ad. And this is written by the Peter Baker, and he's a cultural reporter. This isn't really about the, economics or anything like that, but it was in the New York Times Magazine. And so he describes the commercial, and since some of you may be listening without the video, I'll just read it because you can get a very clear idea of what the commercial does. And you can also look it up on YouTube. It's for the Ford all-electric Lightning F-Series pickup truck. Okay, he describes the commercial. A two-story house stands alone against a night sky. We're watching from off in the distance, but the warm lights inside make it look cozy. Then a bolt of lightning shoots down from the sky. Thunder claps. The lights go out, plunging the home into darkness. Outside, a gray-haired man in a cowboy hat switches on a flashlight and stands next to his vintage pickup truck, surveying the property. Something is coming down the road. It's another pickup truck. Close up on the grill, it's a Ford. A firm, masculine voice starts narrating.
Here's an idea. Take the familiar and make it revolutionary.
A woman gets out of the Ford, runs a cord from the darkened house, plugs it into the side of her truck, and voila, the lights come back on, the narrator of the commercial says.
Take the truck our parents used to build this country. Make it so it can power our homes.
That's the new revolutionary idea. So Baker continues. He says, this ad, titled Make It Revolutionary, and directed by Chloe Zhao, who directed No Man's Land, ends at the house where it began. After dinner, the older man heads outside where his daughter's electric Ford is parked next to his classic model. We see them standing by the new truck, admiring its features. Old and new, gas and electric, male old-timer and female face of tomorrow stand comfortably side by side, the line of tradition running between them. Take who we are and make it into where we're going, the narrator says. Now there's an idea. Okay, so that's the commercial. So Baker's critique. He says, advertisements have always told us that by buying one new product, we can improve our lives. Increasingly, though, they're promising something different. Now they suggest we can buy our way into maintaining the lifestyle we already have. Armed with products made from new materials, steel, straws, hemp t-shirts, or redesigned so they don't belch offensive exhaust, such as electric vehicles. The status quo, these advertisements promise, can stay without so much ecological damage. In America, the company's Ford's F-Series pickups have outsold every other vehicle of any type for 39 years running. Pickup trucks constitute about half of Ford's total sales and probably an even higher percentage of its profits. They are what Ford customers want. So great, right? Not so fast, according to Peter Baker here. He says they're what Ford customers want, but that doesn't mean they're what customers should have. Pickups are, by most accounting, a menace. And then he goes on to describe their menace. Compared with sedans, they're most likely to hit pedestrians and more likely to injure or kill them. Dittos for SUVs. More of everything to make compared with small cars, so forth. SUVs are funny. Talk about moral panics. I remember when SUVs came down the pike in whenever it was the 90s, and all my liberal friends were very, anti-SUV, and now they're all driving them. But some of them are hybrids, and the beat goes on here. So anyway, Peter Baker goes on. He says, internal combustion engines need to go away. Increasingly, though, experts agree that this should just be the start, that any vision of an environmentally sustainable future will have to involve many fewer cars and smaller cars and a great deal less driving, period. Similar transformations can be expected across the economy and in all of our lives. Any future we can believe in will be desirable less for what it shares with the past and more for how it veers into new directions. To get there, it will not be sufficient to simply replace our current purchases and our current lives with slightly more efficient ones. We will have to let many old habits slip away and replace them with new ones. This is, by definition, a revolutionary idea, not just one you're likely to hear at a car commercial anytime soon. So, earlier in the article, I didn't mention, but he complained that the commercial never mentioned climate or environment, that those were the benefits of this electric truck, which of course there are. And this what he just wrote here at the end is why they didn't mention the environmental or climate benefits of the electric truck, because most of their buyers recognize the hidden agenda. The hidden social agenda, economic agenda, cultural agenda that is embedded in the progressive environmental movement. And this line just makes traditionalists' hair stand on end. Increasingly, though, experts agree this should just be the start, these experts, that we need smaller cars and a great deal less driving and so forth. And so I point out that this is the green religion for better and worse, actually. I don't necessarily mean that as a critique, but the environmental religion of green is not just about the environment. It's about remaking society into the smaller, beautiful view. And I actually think they're right. I think that will ultimately happen. Human beings will get ever more wise, where we actually do want these these earlier stages of, family and embeddedness in an environment, to less hustle and bustle and materialism and running around. And the less is more thing is probably inevitably in our future. But the short term, in medium term, the culture war, the environmental movement just makes themselves toxic to traditionalists who actually like their pickup trucks, and modernists too, who, they just want them both to shut up, both sides to shut up and let them, make money. But it's identifiable easily by people who feel that climate is an urgent and existential threat, climate change, and are against nuclear power, because they actually don't want the same lifestyle to continue, only environmentally sustainable. They want a new society. Again, I think they're going to get it, but this is the contour of the culture war in the short and medium term. And I think this article illuminates it beautifully. And, thanks for sending it. And thank you for listening. And there's a bunch you can find on the Post-Progressive Post. Check out the Post-Progressive Post. It's attempting to lay out the territory that is to come, where the great truths of progressivism and also modernity, traditionalism, and earlier stages are integrated into a new, flexible, and potent worldview.